everybody. It's Lona Reshel Taylor out here in San Antonio, California. I'm just so blessed and highly favored today to be able to come out here and accept this opportunity that I'm giving myself to come out and speak with you from my heart. And I appreciate you watching my video and sharing it with whoever you think might need what I have to offer and what I have to say today. This week has been a really emotional week, and I had once in a lifetime opportunity to share my story with someone, a partial story with someone the other day, a really good friend of mine who I have not met in person yet, but I do fellowship with online and work with in conjunction with a company I'm with. And it was just a blessing for me and to be able to bless her. And so, I've been on my videos, I've been telling people, and teaching some things in the spiritual side of things, that we need to step out into our greatness and tell our story. And I truly believe that if you're going through a trial, and you're having a hard time with something that happened in your past, I'm speaking to those that have been abused, those who have been lied to, stolen from, but mostly abused, and treated improperly, disrespectfully, and I mean to a really high degree. And when I say high degree, that means whatever in your mind that is, and I'm just really blessed to be able to come out and speak to you and tell you, when you start to really tell your story and decide that you're going to tell a story, a true story about yourself that no one knows, there's an uncomfortable feeling that comes upon you. It kind of comes into your gut and your whole total being, actually. And when you do that, you go ahead and step out and go forward with it, and not allow that fear, false evidence appearing real, to take over you and stop you in your tracks and not do it. When you do it more and more, you begin to like that feeling. And right now, I just really feel good. I want to invite the Most High Elohim, the Most High God, the Creator of the universe, to just abide with us right now as we abide with Him. Ask His Spirit to speak through me and speak into you blessings and abundance. And I mean abundance in all areas of your life, and especially your inner spirit, your inner soul. When I was 18, my father raped me, and I'm not out here to say, oh, woe is me, and this stuff happened to me. I have been healed. He gave me a healing vision, and it took 20 years for that vision to come, that healing to come, and I went through 20 years, or maybe 21, 22 years of this total torture within my inner self, even in interacting with strangers, at this grocery store or whatever, I could not even look a man in the eye because I had all this shame that had come upon me, that I thought was on me, and that people could just see right through me and see what actually happened and all the details that actually happened. And I can tell all the details, and I do on a one-to-one basis, all the details that happened to me without it even feeling like it happened to me, like it happened to a third person. And that's how I know that it's possible for healing to come upon people that have been sexually abused or physically abused, mentally, physically, any of it. God can and will heal you. You release that to Him. And how you do that is, and it took me a long time to get this straight in my head until it's just here. So it's been about 37 years, almost 40 years that I've been through dealing with this thing that happens to me in my physical body, within my inner self. Because, things that are shameful in society, it puts like a shame. It's like a spiritual demon, if you will, that comes upon a person, and it really it debilitates them to where they cannot live a normal life. And some of those, live a normal life, but within that person, they don't feel normal. They don't feel like they fit in, and they are special. I'm going to tell you, every person I ever came in contact with that has shared their story with me, is a very special person, and is a person that has very special gifts and very special talents that, for, whether you believe this or not, you can call it what you want, but the enemy, the demonic realm, the other side, the dark side that was there at the foundations of this universe when your purpose and your destiny was spoken out by the Most High Creator, when He created you, there was other watchers watching and listening, and maybe even assigned to you, if you will. I mean, it's really hard for me to explain it, but as I went on through my childhood, before this even happened to me, there was other things that had happened to me too, that as a younger, at age 5, that happened to me, that as a young girl, how would I have brought that on to me? There was some type of portal, some type of an entity that was assigned to just torment me, attack me throughout my life to prevent my calling from coming forth and my destiny to be fulfilled in my life. I really truly believe that there's always an equal force against the good of evil that is going to come against those that make a decision, that are committed and are the called according to His purpose. That there's something that there's a balance of good and evil that always comes against the good. When you make a decision to change your life, to do good, it always seems to be more tempting to do the bad again. And that's what I'm talking about. There's a balance there. So we don't know why, really truly why we have to go through these things, or these are the cards that we were dealt, but we were dealt them, or we went through these things from whatever reason. And I'll tell you right now, one of the reasons that I went through it, and I realized this through ministering to other people and telling my story to other people, that one of the purposes of what I went through and the healing that I went through was to tell my story to those people that went through similar situations than I did, to share the love of God and how He healed me so that they would be healed. And so that the love of God that He gave me, I can spread back through. It's like a reaping what you're sowing. I reaped love from God when He healed me. Okay? And He gave that to me unconditionally. I didn't deserve it. And, I can share that with other people. Whatever I went through in my life, and I know that there's a God that brought me through. And my belief is what brought me through. My belief in God. And Yeshua, Jesus tells us that it's our faith that makes us well. And so what is faith that makes us well that Yeshua is talking about? The lady that had the 12 years of an issue of blood, that was unclean for anybody to touch her because she had had this issue of blood in a community that considered that very unclean. And so she was an outcast. And she said, if I could just touch the corner of His garment, the tassel on the corner of His garment, and that I would just be healed. I could do that. He only touched His garment. And when she did touch Him, he felt the virtue and he felt the love and the healing come out of him. And he said, He touched me. And everyone, it's her, it's this woman that's been bleeding for 12 years. She's unclean. Don't touch her. Don't let her touch you. That's what was going on at that moment. And he said, your faith has made you well. And she had the most faith in all of Israel. So if you're going through a struggle of some things that happened to you in your past, it could have been your parents, it could have been a husband, it could have been your uncle, it could have been your dad, it could have been your mom, anybody, it could be your sister. If you've been through an abusive situation in your life, or a dysfunctional family or anything like that, I'm going to tell you, you're not alone. Okay? I've been through some weird stuff. I could write a book. And I probably most likely will, and this is maybe my video, my blog, for you out there that are needing to know and to be encouraged and uplifted, to know that there is a way to get better, and there is a God that heals, and He will heal you, and it's all in your belief. And so I went 20 years just wanting it to all erase out of my brain, and all the things. I know what it's like to go through flashbacks of things, and it's not fun, And He took all of that away, and He he did something to my brain in the healing process that I can tell the story without flinching or crying that it even happened to me. It's like I'm telling a story about someone else, but I know it's me. It's almost like I'm looking at a third person level, but it's like I'm looking at me when I'm telling the story. And it's amazing, how he has brought that out of me. But even further, still, over and above that, you still have been through things, you've been told things by, maybe this abusive person, so your subconscious is just filled with all this negative, self-esteem stuff. It's like low self-esteem of yourself. And I'm going to tell you today, you can make a decision and commit to yourself to no longer be a victim, but you can be a victor. And think of that of yourself as someone that overcame and survived. But even more than survival, you have a victory. You have a victory mindset if you choose to have one. And it really is all in your mind. Which path are you going to go on, and what are you going to think about today? Are you going to think about pleasant things to come? People that you want to meet, people you want to see, and things that you want to do? Or do you want to dwell on the past things that tore you down? And your mind does not know if you're going through it, if you're making it up, or if you're remembering something in the past that's a memory. It thinks that you're going through it again. So stop thinking about it, bury it in the grave like a dead man, and move on. And forgive. That's part of forgiveness. You'll never forget it, but you can put it in the grave and not go back there again. Be a victor instead of a victim today. Make a commitment to yourself to get better every day. And saying that to yourself, that I am worth living and I am worth telling my story so that someone else can heal from the love of God that healed me. How one of those waves is this. And it all starts with the belief up here from the mind that the Most High Creator gave you to use wisely and properly. Yeshua, Jesus, was given all authority. Just like Joseph was given all authority by the Pharaoh in Egypt. And Pharaoh said, whatever he says, do it. That means he was given all authority. He had the same status as the Most High. He gave us all authority over all the works of the enemy, to bind and to loose. And to bind and to loose means to either permit or prohibit. Binding and loosing. You have all authority over all the works of the enemy, and you don't have to give it permission anymore. You can prohibit the permission. You can say, you do not have permission to torment me any longer. I do not give you permission. I am in control over my mind. I have been given all control and all authority over the thoughts of my mind. What thoughts I'm going to go with and what thoughts I'm not going to go with. What I'm going to believe and what I'm going to dwell on, and what I'm going to truly believe that God is going to heal me in His timing, because it will come in His timing. I waited for 20 years, thinking that He was never going to heal me. It was going through flashback after flashback. And then one day, I had a flashback. But the flashback went a little bit differently this time. It was the vision. And I was fully awake. I was awake laying on my bed, actually reading my Bible, watching a church show on TV in a hotel room because I was homeless. And all of a sudden the flashback started. And there was my dad in the doorway of my bedroom. And then everything from there went differently. Yeshua stepped in. Stepped right in front of my father. Did not say a word. But the light from him, in his robe that he had on, and his crown of thorns that he had on his head, and his piercing, loving eyes looking right at me, shined his light into my room that night and healed me with his light. And that's how it started, being a whole different life for me, and not having that torturous inner self anymore. It was a miraculous healing. But I'm going to tell you that it does all start in your mind, because I begged him to heal me every day, to help me forget it. But you know what? He did it his way. I did not forget it. I can remember every single detail today. But it was like he closed up that wound and made me a new person. So with that, I'm going to say you're blessed and highly favored of Elohim, the God that created this universe. He created you for such a time as this. So go out there and step into your greatness and tell your story, and inspire other people with the talent, the wisdom, and the knowledge that God has imparted on you. I love you, and I will talk to you soon on the next video. Shalom, shalom.